Ever get that, like when a song gets stuck in your head, you can't stop humming it no matter how hard you try?
Oh, absolutely. Earworms, they call them.
Yeah, earworms. But what about when it's not a song, but a jingle from an ad? Like suddenly you're walking around with the theme song to car insurance stuck in your brain.
It's insidious, isn't it? Like our brains are being hijacked by marketing.
Totally. So today, we're going deep on why some ads have that stick with your power while others just vanish.
Right. It's crazy how we're flooded with ads every single day, but only a few really break through and like embed themselves in our memory.
It's like our brains have become these super sophisticated spam filters. And this deep dive we're looking at today, it blew my mind when it said one of the biggest things that makes an ad memorable is, get this, simplicity.
It's true. There's something about a simple message that just cuts through the clutter.
Totally. It's like our brains are wired to latch onto things that are easy to grasp, especially when we're bombarded with so much information all the time.
Exactly. It's like your brain's this bouncer at a club, right? And there's a huge line of ads all trying to get in. The simple, straightforward ones, they sail right through. But those overly complex, jargon-filled messages, they're getting left out in the cold.
So true. No chance of getting stuck in your head if you can't even get past the velvet rope, right?
Exactly. Clarity is key, especially in advertising where you often only have a few seconds to capture someone's attention. Think about those got milk ads. 2 words. Everywhere.
And they worked. I mean, they were everywhere for years. Everyone remembers those ads.
Exactly. They made a quick, memorable impression because they were so simple. But simplicity isn't the only thing that makes an ad stick with us. Remember those Sarah McLachlan ASPCA commercials?
Oh man, don't even get me started. Those were like heart-wrenching.
Exactly. And that brings us to the next key ingredient in this recipe for a sticky ad. Emotions.
Right. It's not enough to just be clear and simple. You gotta make people feel something.
Absolutely. Emotions are incredibly powerful when it comes to memory. Think about it. You might forget what you had for breakfast this morning.
Don't judge me. I'm lucky if I even remember to eat breakfast some days.
But you'll probably remember how that powerful ad made you feel. Advertisers, they're masters at tapping into those emotions.
It's like you're trying to create an emotional shortcut to our wallets. Make us feel something strong, and maybe we'll associate that feeling with their product.
Exactly.
And it doesn't always have to be like happy emotions either, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes the memorable ads are the ones that make you laugh, or even like those ASPCA commercials make you feel a little bit sad.
Oh, for sure. It's about creating a connection, whatever that emotion might be. If it makes you feel something, it's going to stick with you. Remember those old Super Bowl commercials? They figured that out pretty quickly. Make them laugh, make them cry, just make them feel something.
And if everyone's talking about that hilarious or heartwarming or even kind of messed up ad the next day, they're talking about the brand too.
Bingo! Free publicity! But hold on, we've got one more ingredient in our sticky ad recipe here. And this one's big. Surprise. You know, like those ads that just come out of left field and grab your attention.
It's like our brains are programmed to zero in on anything unexpected. A dog riding a unicycle on the moon while juggling pizzas. Okay, I'm interested. Tell me more.
See, it's that instinct, right? Our brains are wired to pay attention to novelty. Back in the caveman days, anything out of the ordinary, that could be danger or maybe lunch.
So wait, advertisers are using our primal instincts to sell us stuff? That's hilarious.
Right. It's all about tapping into those deep-seated psychological triggers. And speaking of unexpected and hilarious, remember those Old Spice commercials? The guy on the horse, the explosions, the diamonds. Talk about an ad campaign that broke the internet.
Oh man, those were everywhere. I remember thinking they were totally insane, but also like weirdly brilliant. They definitely got people talking, even if it was just to debate whether they were genius or completely bonkers.
And that's exactly it. Love it or hate it, you remembered it. And in the world of advertising, that's half the battle won right there.
Okay, so we've got our 3 key ingredients. Keep it simple, make it emotional, and don't be afraid to get a little weird. But now I'm wondering, just because we remember an ad, does that mean it actually works? Like, am I going to run out and buy those shoes just because the jingle stuck in my head? This is what I find really interesting about all this. So we talked about what makes ads sticky and memorable, but does that automatically mean success for the brands? It's kind of the ultimate question, right?
It really is the $1,000,000 question, isn't it? And like a lot of things in life, it's not a simple yes or no.
Right. Like I can think of a bunch of jingles that are stuck in my head, but that doesn't mean I'm rushing out to buy that stuff.
Well, maybe not. But think about it this way. Even if you don't run out and buy something right away, the brand name, that feeling you get when you see it, it's already in your head.
It's like they snuck in and set up shop while we weren't looking.
Exactly. They've planted their flag. And these days, there's so much choice everywhere you look, so that familiarity is huge. You're at the store staring at a wall of cereal, and bam, that jingle pops up.
Guess it's Frosted Sugar Bombs again?
Exactly. You might not even realize it, but that ad, that earworm jingle, it might have just made the decision for you.
Subliminal messaging, but with a beat.
Kinda. But beyond those impulse buys, there's also brand awareness and association. That's huge, too.
Okay, break that down for me. What do you mean?
Think about Apple. Their ads are all sleek, modern, aspirational, right? They're not even really selling you the product features most of the time. They're selling a feeling.
The cool factor.
Exactly. And you start to connect those feelings, that style, that idea of being cutting edge with Apple itself.
So next time your phone's acting up, even if you don't remember a specific ad, those good vibes are still there, influencing you.
Precisely. They're playing the long game. It's not just about making you buy something. It's about making you buy into their whole deal.
These marketing masterminds, they're playing 4D chess out here.
It's true. And understanding why some ads work on us psychologically, that's how we can be smarter consumers. It's about being aware of those influences, not just mindlessly going along with them.
Knowledge is power, as they say. So next time you're humming a jingle you hate or laughing at some ridiculous commercial, really think about why it worked. What did they tap into in your brain? That's how we can outsmart the marketers even a little.
I'm all about that. And hey, if we can have some fun picking apart these ads while we're at it, even better.
Exactly. Thanks for taking this deep dive with me today. This has been fascinating stuff for sure.